What is going on, YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys good quality VR content. So there's a big question on everybody's mind right now. 2023 is going to be a big year for VR, especially in the VR hardware industry. There's a lot of new VR headsets coming out, and a lot of those just have recently been showcased at the CES event, and we're going to be talking about that in a separate video, all ranking all those headsets. But for right now, we do have this question to pose. Is the Quest 2 at this point in the year still worth buying, knowing that there's other VR headsets coming, as well as the rumors of the Meta Quest 3 launching later this year? So is it still worth getting? We're gonna answer that in today's video. So make sure you guys do drop in the comment section what you guys think, because I do wanna hear and I like to interact with you guys and hearing what you guys think about this topic. So definitely drop that in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. And lastly, guys, there is a Amazon storefront down in the description, which has a bunch of Quest 2 accessories. If you are a Quest 2 gamer right now and you're looking to upgrade your gaming experience, or getting a new Quest 2 and you're looking for the best add-ons, I have all that stuff in that Amazon storefront below. So make sure you guys check that out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and answer this question for you. Is the Meta Quest 2 still worth it right now in 2023? Okay, so first and foremost, this year, 2023, is going to be a massive year for virtual reality. There are so many different headsets that are going to be coming out. I'm not really as focused on some of the other tech in VR because I think we're still a long ways off from like haptic gloves and stuff. They're just not mainstream, and I don't think they're going to be mainstream for a while because the software in the games just haven't supported it yet, and there's really no plans to make it more accessible. I think that we're definitely about 5 years away from anything like that. But when it comes to actual headsets, there are a lot of headsets releasing this year and some companies that are bringing standalone products to the VR market. However, most of these products are definitely going to be probably outside of the range of price that you're willing to spend on a VR headset if you have not picked a VR headset up yet or not a VR enthusiast. If you're looking for something that is going to kind of get you a taste of VR and, you know, really show you what the power of VR can potentially be in the future, the Quest 2 up to this point has been the absolute best bang for the buck. You can go ahead and spend the price of a console and you're getting everything in one without needing any additional incentives or hardware or anything along the lines of that. Whereas most of these headsets coming out this year do require either a PC, or if they don't require a PC, then sure, they're standalone, but they are definitely pretty pricey, and that's going to set some people back. So again, that bodes you to the question, should I wait till the end of this year for the Meta Quest 3, which is potentially coming out, or is it going to be better for me right now to pick up a Quest 2? Well, that's the question that we have to answer today. And really the biggest things that you guys need to understand is that how excited are you to get into virtual reality? Because that's the biggest thing. You think about it now, let's say the Quest 3, which right now does not have a release date, but I can imagine that it's going to come out this fall. That's when the Quest 2 came out. It was in October. I would imagine the Quest 3 is probably going to come out right before the holidays in October, so that there's a big, huge push to go ahead and upgrade your headset. So it being January right now, that leaves you with the question, are you willing to wait 10 more months to get into virtual reality? Which I think is a fair question to ask. You know, if you're a big gamer and you've had your eye on VR for a while and you're like, okay, it's new year, you know, maybe you got a raise, maybe you got a bonus and you don't know what to do with it yet. And you're trying to figure out, you know, I want to get into virtual reality. It's been something I've been looking at for a while. 10 months is a long time, man. And you know, there's a lot of experiences you could have in between then and now. And definitely with some of the new VR games that are going to be coming out this year, it's definitely pretty exciting. Now, here's the thing, right? Is the Meta Quest 2 still worth buying? Well, here's the other caveat that you have to consider. If you have a PlayStation 5, let's say you're a PlayStation 5, you know, you go from console, maybe you go from console, or you have a console now, you know, maybe you have like a gaming laptop and a console. That's how I used to play. I used to have both. I had a PlayStation 4 and then I had a gaming laptop, and I'd switch depending on what I wanted to play on what, or what my friends were doing. If you're somebody like that who has a PlayStation 5, I think the Meta Quest 2 is not worth it for you. I would not buy this headset. And the reason why is because I would absolutely spend the extra money. I know it's a little bit more than the Meta Quest 2, but go and get a PlayStation VR 2. The early reviews coming out on this thing it is incredible. It's a step above the Quest 2. It's on the PC side of things. You know, when you're hooked up to a PC, it's pretty much consumer friendly, price friendly PC VR headset, to lack for better terms. And for that reason alone, I think that the PlayStation VR 2 is absolutely worth you investing in, because the quality of games is going to be significantly better. As much as I love my Meta Quest 2 and some of the standalone games are great, and being able to play wirelessly is amazing and you can really see it, one thing that Meta Quest users, if they're playing strictly standalone, don't get to experience is what a high-end high-end graphics look like in a VR headset. And this is something that only PC VR users get to really see. So when I play in PC VR, I play these games and I'm like, man, when this hits mainstream, when people are able to see this and experience this in the mainstream, they're no longer going to be saying that it's, gimmicky graphics and stuff. The Quest 2, not that it has bad graphics, because there's some games that look great and they feel great, but they're definitely not as sharp as they would be on a PC. Where a PlayStation VR 2, you're going to get that sharpness. So if you have a PlayStation 5 currently, I would not get a Meta Quest 2. I do not think it is worth it. Now, if you're somebody that has a Meta Quest 1, Oculus CV1, or maybe no VR headset at all, and you're looking to get into virtual reality, I think that it might be worth you getting a Quest 2. Now, before we go ahead and talk about the Quest 3, because this is coming out later this year, and there are some rumors that we need to talk about. This headset's going to be a significant upgrade over the Quest 2. Not that the Quest 2 is a bad headset, but the Quest 3, I think, is going to be a massive upgrade just based off the rumors alone. One being the standalone display automatic refresh rate's going to, so far we think it's going to be defaulted at 120 hertz, which is really good for a standalone headset. That's something that the Quest 2 currently supports on some apps, but right now the highest you can really push it on most apps is 90 hertz. And, if you're not familiar, that's the refresh rate of the screen. So it makes the VR experience much smoother, and smoothness in VR is really, really big. And if you haven't played it with a VR headset yet, you'll know what I'm talking about when it's time to pick it up. The smoother the game is, the better it runs. That being said, the Quest 3 is also going to have micro OLED displays with a high resolution. Right now rumored to be about 4128 by 2208 pixels per total display, and then 2064 by 2208 pixels per eye, which is about a 30% upgrade over the Meta Quest 2 currently. 30% is decent, and I would say probably pretty good here. But I can say that the Quest 2, and I get to see the full resolution of the Quest 2 because I have my PC's graphics cards cranked all the way up on the render resolution. I get to see the absolute max output of this headset. It's not bad. The Quest 2's visuals are not bad. Some of the Quest 2 games run standalone. You get that little bit of distance blur because it just can't process it at that distance. And I'm not so sure Meta Quest 3 will fix this fully. Now, with the rumors that there is the Snapdragon XR2 Generation 2 chip that is going to be going in this thing, that's going to offer almost double the graphical power of the Quest 2, which I think is a big deal. So the Quest 3 definitely has a nice lineup of specs, and it's rumored to be about the same price as the Quest 2. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth the wait? Is it worth the wait to get the Quest 3? And that's a very fair question. And really, I think the answer to this comes down to, how excited are you for VR? I mean, the Quest 2 is not going to be a bad purchase, and it's not like it's going to lose support anytime soon. So if you do end up picking up a Quest 2, let's say tomorrow, you're going to get your time out of it. You're going to get at least 10 months out of it. And then, of course, whenever the new headset comes out, sure, there'll be a lot of buzz. And then with PlayStation VR bringing out a lot of higher quality games that are also going to come to Quest because it's a huge marketplace, it's not like those games are not going to be able to run on the Quest 2, at least for, I would say at least 2 more years. At some point they'll phase the Quest 2 out like they did with the Quest 1 with certain games, and I think that that's fair, and they have to do that in order to continue to push the boundaries forward. But if you were to spend $300, $400 right now on your Quest 2, I would expect to get the same amount of life out of it still to this day as you would with a console. Consoles usually last anywhere from 4 to 5 years before the next generation starts to seep in, and usually they can still go beyond that. And I think that the Quest 2 still has much more life to give. It has a ton of sales. I don't think they're going to be phasing this headset out anytime soon in the next 3 years. So if you do go ahead and buy this headset, I would say it's probably still worth it if you're excited to get in VR. If you're somebody who already has a VR headset and you're satisfied and you think you can wait 10 months, then I would definitely wait 10 months. But if you're a new user and you're asking the question, should I go ahead and pick up a Quest 2? Is it worth it? Do I want to get into VR? Yes, the answer is yes. Virtual reality is incredible. The gaming experiences are just absolutely incredible. And the community sometimes, it's a totally different world. And until you've experienced what virtual reality can do in a setting like that, it's just not fair to compare it to anything else. And I think that the Quest 2 is absolutely still worth you purchasing if you have not got your hands on any VR headset. If you do have a VR headset or you have a PlayStation 5, then I would definitely wait until the PlayStation VR 2 comes out or the Meta Quest 3 comes out. But if you are VR-less and you are looking to get into VR, the Meta Quest 2 is definitely still worth the bang for your buck, and it's going to be supported for many years to come. Well, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys found it informative. Really, I think that those are just really my opinions on it. And I do think that right now, the Quest 2 is still worth a buy if you don't have any other VR headset. But if you do have a VR headset that you're satisfied with right now, I would absolutely wait. I think the Quest 3 is going to be a pretty significant upgrade. And again, if you're somebody who has a PlayStation 5 and maybe you're a computer gamer and you're not a VR enthusiast, you're kind of skeptical about VR, I would definitely pick up the PlayStation VR 2. I think that that's going to be a really big headset. It's going to be a big deal for the VR community. So hopefully that helps answer your guys' question. I want to know in the comment section, 1, did I help you answer your question? 2, what do you guys think? Is the Quest 2 still worth it here in 2023, or should you wait? Definitely want to hear it. Drop that in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out the Amazon storefront if you're looking for Quest 2 accessories, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.